This is the VW Lamando. Now, I know what you're thinking. The car's been around for quite some time. Truthfully, we got our hands on it back in 2020 and tried to do a review. Unfortunately, COVID happened. Then we tried again in early 2021. And unfortunately, COVID happened. So we managed to get our hands on it again. Hopefully, third time's a charm. Now, of all the time that has transpired, there have been a lot of new cars that have been introduced into the segment. For instance, the Civic, which we recently did a walk around on. So we got curious yet again to see just exactly how it stands against the backdrop of current sedans. Do you need help purchasing your car insurance? Head on over to AutoDeal.com.ph/car-insurance. Here, you can compare prices and customize your insurance coverage from many of the Philippines' top providers. When you've selected the insurance that's best for you, simply fill out the application and complete the transaction with ease through Visa, MasterCard, GCash, GrabPay, or PayPal, and receive your policy within the next business day. Get the best deal on insurance with AutoDeal. The overall look of the Lamando really is, well, it's got a very European vibe to it, doesn't it? It is a VW after all, regardless of where it's made. Now, you've got Japanese and Korean sedans out in the market that are, sharper, edgier, more dramatic really. Here, it's just cleaner and, well, really well placed. You get LEDs up front and fog lamps as well. The front grille and the rest of the front clip really is very clean. No crazy patterns anywhere or funky textures. Now up top you see part of the roof is blacked out because it's a sunroof. However, I would have really liked it to have stretched all the way to the rear. Down the side you have a pronounced character line running towards the back. Down below you'll find 17-inch alloys, and behind that disc brakes all around. When you open the boot using this logo that you flip up, I like that, much like a Mini Cooper, it will reveal 480 liters of space. And of course, that can expand to a little bit more when you fold the backrests down. Now, at the rear also is some of the coolest details of the exterior that I absolutely love. The first would be, well, you saw it already when we opened the boot and flipped the logo. The second are these sequential turn signals that start from here all the way up to here. It's like fireworks in the night sky. You can stare at it all night long. The third is, well, this car has a reverse camera, but it's nowhere to be seen here at the back. That's because it's activated. When you put it in reverse, the logo flips up yet again and the reverse camera comes out. That's just so cool, man. So cool. The material for the rear seats, well, similar to the material all over the cabin, is actually quite okay. It's not plush by any means, but it does seem like it will last for quite some time. Ingress and egress from the automobile is very easy because you can just slide right in. And then there's the fact that when you're sitting, it's kind of sunken a little bit, which nice. It gives you sort of like a hunkered down feeling inside the automobile, making you feel very secure, as do the bolsters also for passenger 3 and 4. Obviously none for passenger 5, if at all. But if you were to maintain just 2 adults back here, you'd be actually pretty comfortable. The headroom for anyone taller than me, which is probably like 3/4 of the planet, anybody like 5'10" and that size, might feel a little cramped because the headroom for me, it's nothing great if I'm sitting upright. However, the legroom in my normal driving position is actually pretty darn spacious. Toys back here include air vents found here up front, then 2 USB charging points. You have a center armrest with 2 cup holders, and this thing can also adjust if you just move these plastic thingy-majiggies around. And that's about it. Oh, and bottle holders on either door that will hold a normal sized bottle. It's actually quite comfy in here, if you're not too tall. The business end of the Lamando is much like its exterior. It's very sleek, it's very clean, it's very functional, and everything is within arm's reach. There are, however, some aspects in it that I'm just not too sure about. For instance, the piano black plastics that are found in the areas where you will touch a lot. It can get scratchy and then you can put a lot of fingerprints on them. Number two is this fake carbon fiber that you find inside the car. It looks okay, but I feel like it's a little out of place. However, I'll tell you that the seats, these are actually very darn comfortable. They're not bucket seats, but they're close to it. Like, it feels really good when you get inside this thing and you're hunkered down and you're ready to drive off. And also, getting into your proper driving position is very easy because you've got power seats and a telescopic steering wheel. I will mention two things though. Number one is that when you first get in, you may think that the dashboard is actually quite high. And regardless of how you adjust your seat, whether you move up or you move down, whether you're a tall person or not, you'll still feel that the dashboard is quite high. It's not just the dashboard. It's actually the windshield. It's tilted at an angle so much so that the viewing area is actually diminished ever so slightly. But on the outside, it looks great because aerodynamic-wise, it's actually very sharp. The second thing I want to mention is no matter how small that is, at least the bottle holders inside the car are huge because up front, you can fit Jack's water bottle. Hey Jack, look, we found you a date. It fits. The 9.2-inch infotainment is nicely integrated into the dash, and it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's plenty clear and sharp. Inputs are responsive as well. It does have a trick up its sleeve. If you opt out of CarPlay and Android Auto, it has gesture controls. The steering wheel feels good too, the leather is good to the touch, and the shape is nice as well. You have infotainment controls on it as well as controls for your adaptive cruise control, which is really quite impressive. Behind the wheel is a full-color display that shows various trip information, a speedometer and a tachometer as well. I know I sound repetitive when I do this, but if you do enjoy the videos that we create, give us a thumbs up, perhaps a subscription if you're up for it, so that we can keep creating videos just for you guys. Inside the Lamando resides a 1.4-liter turbocharged gasoline engine mated to a 7-speed DSG, which basically means it's just a dual-clutch transmission that produces 150 horses and 250 Newton-meters of torque. Now, the turbo, it actually kicks in at a much higher rev range, which means it's a lot of fun for me as the driver, but maybe not so much fun for the passengers if you decide to mash your foot down. It shifts pretty smoothly and well enough when you're going at speed. But as with such dual clutch transmissions at this price point, inside traffic it's, well, not so good. It tends to have a little bit of a lull before it starts to get going. But when you shift it into manual mode, that's a completely different story. It's much more responsive, it's crisper, and like I mentioned earlier, it is truly a lot of fun. Now, inside the city, you're roughly doing about 7.5 kilometers per liter, which, to be honest, is really nothing stellar, nothing to boast about. Much, much better, however, when you get out on the highway because it can achieve 21 kilometers per liter. The Lamando has electronic power assist, which means that when you're taking corners or turns, it's actually extremely light. Look at me, I'm using my fingertips. It's very nice inside the city, traffic-wise and whatnot. But when you're on the highway, since it is electronic steering, it stiffens up. And what that does is, well, it gives you a boatload of confidence really when you're driving, and it provides a much more stable drive. I gotta be honest with you, the ride and drive of this sedan actually is quite surprising. You'd expect it to be just your average run-of-the-mill sedan. No, in this, not only do you sit low, but the car feels like it's actually very low and hugging the ground. It gives you a lot of confidence, whether you're just going straight or attacking corners, whether you're inside the city or outside the city. It's quite surprising. Well, maybe not that surprising. I mean, regardless of whether this car is built in China or not, it's still definitely German engineering. And VH is actually quite good. It keeps the roid noises out. Did I say roid noises? No, I meant road noises. That's actually what I meant. And you kind of understand where the price point is coming from because, well, some of the creature comforts in here, like adaptive cruise, and who can deny a sunroof. SEL is available at 1,703,000 Philippine pesos. Yeah, I know. There are other good options out there like the Mazda 3 and of course the all-new Honda Civic. But if you go to our website right now, you'll find that there is a 75,000 peso cash discount on the Lamando SEL, which makes the price a little bit more attractive. But to be honest with you, what isn't attractive about it? I really enjoyed the way that it drives. It looks great because it's sleek and clean looking. The interior is quite comfortable and the tech is actually pretty decent. There's really only so much that I can convey through the lens. What I will tell you is that if you actually opt for a test drive of this unit, there's a better than good chance that you won't be let down.